Welcome guys. Today we will be continuing in carbonates compound. Okay, it is the second video, so let's see what we will be studying today. Okay, so today we will be discussing naming of organic compounds. Okay, so first we will see rules of nomenclature. Okay, let's see here. The number of carbon atoms in a hydrocarbon is denoted by its word root name. Okay, so when we will be given a hydrocarbon, we will denote the number of carbon atom in hydrocarbon through its word root name. Now what are the word root name? Okay, see here. So the word root names are, for number of carbon atoms if it is 1, then its word root name will be eth. For 2 carbons it will be eth. For 3 carbons it will be prop. For 4 it will be but. For 5 it will be pent. For 6 it will be hex. For 7 it will be hept. For 8 it will be oct. For 9 it will be non, and for 10 it will be dec. So these word root names are very important for naming of hydrocarbon. Okay, now this naming is called IUPAC nomenclature. Okay, now what does IUPAC stands for? Here see, IUPAC stands for International Union of Pure and Applied Chemistry. Okay, now let's continue in the rules. So the second rule is here. The second rule will be a saturated hydrocarbon containing single bond, which is alkane, I told it in the previous video, is denoted with suffix ane. Okay, similarly a unsaturated hydrocarbon containing double bond, which is alkene, for double bond I told it is alkene, is denoted with suffix ene. These things, alkane, alkene and alkyne, what are these things? I will show it in the next slides. Okay, now a saturated hydrocarbon containing triple bond, which is called alkyne, is denoted with suffix ine. Now see, in alkane we use ane, in alkene we use ene, and in alkyne we use ine. Now what are suffix? Suffix are those words which we add behind a particular word, right? Now what is this? Let's try to name this hydrocarbon. Here how many carbons we have? 1 and 2. So the word root name will be eth, right? And there is a single bond between the 2 carbons, so it will be an alkane, so the suffix will be ane. So this is ethane. Now here see, there are number of carbons is again 2, but this time there is a double bond, so this is a alkene, so this is called ethene. And this, there also have two carbon atoms, and there is a triple bond, so this is alkyne, so we call it eth. For word root name we use eth and suffix ine, so this is ethyne. Okay, so this is how we name hydrocarbon. Now these are only a single chain hydrocarbon. Okay, now I will show you how to name a branched hydrocarbon. Before that, let's see what are alkane, alkene and alkyne. Okay, first we will see alkane. See here, alkane, a saturated hydrocarbon containing only single bonds. Okay, now this hydrocarbon alkane is denoted with a formula CnH2n plus 2. Okay, now the next we have alkene. An unsaturated hydrocarbon with double bonds between the carbon atoms is called alkene. Now it is formulated as CnH2n. I will give examples of this. So there is no use to here see alkyne, an unsaturated hydrocarbon with triple bonds between carbon atoms. It is called alkyne. Okay, it is denoted as CnH2n minus 2. Now if we see ethane, ethane have number of carbon atoms as 2. So here n equal to 2 for ethane. For ethane, because it has 2 carbon atoms. So how we will denote ethane in formula? We will put n equal to 2 in the formula. So it will be C2H what? 2 into 2 4 plus 2, it will be 6. So ethane will be C2H6. Let's see if it is true or not. In the previous slide, let's go. So how many carbon atoms are there? 1 and 2. So it will be C2. And how many hydrogen atoms are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So it will be C2H6, right? It matched, right? This is how we formulate a hydrocarbon. Now in case of an alkene, if we see ethene, ethene has n equal to 2 also. That's why it will formulate as C2 and H what? 2 into 2 4. So ethene is C2H4. Similarly, alkyne will have n equal to 2. So it will be C2 and H, 2 into 2 4 minus 2 2. So it will be C2H2, right? So these are ethane, ethene and ethyne. This is what we call alkane, alkene and alkyne. This goes for alkane, alkyne. Now let's see what we have next. Functional groups. Okay, so you see, functional groups are the branched groups that we will be having in branched hydrocarbon. Okay, now these are the priority order of functional groups. COOH has the highest priority functional group. It is when it is used as prefix, it is carboxy. When suffix, it is oic acid. Okay, now what are priority? How we will use this priority in naming? It will come in branched hydrocarbon naming. Okay, here we will see the rules. First rule is the longest chain of carbon atom in the structure is found first. Okay, so if I take an example like this CH3, I'm just giving an example, CH3, CH2, CH3, CH2, CH3. Now first we have to identify the longest chain of carbon atom. Now how we will identify the longest chain? We will start with a end. How many ends are there in this compound? We have this end 1, end is there 2, and we have end here 3. So we will start from one end to another end. Okay, if we start from this end to this end, how many carbon atoms are there? 1, 2, 3, 4. This chain has a carbon atom of 4, right? So we have 4 carbon atoms in this chain. Now if we start from this chain to this chain, how many carbon atoms are there? 1 2 3 4. In this chain also we have 4 carbon atoms, right? Sorry, I will write it again. CH2 CH CH3. Here we were having CH2 CH3. Okay, so the first chain we identified is this chain. First chain we identified is this chain. Okay, first chain we identified this chain, it was having 4 carbons. Second we have this chain, it was also having 4 carbons, right? Now the last chain we will having is from this end to this end. How many carbons we will have here? This chain we will have 1 2 3 4 5. So it will have 5 carbon. Now which chain has the highest number of carbons? This chain has the highest number of carbons. So this is the longest chain of carbon atom in the structure. Okay, now let's see the next rule. Let me clear this first. Okay, let's see the next rule. So the next rule we have the alkyl groups and functional groups present as side chains are considered as substituents and named separately at prefix. Okay, now this is a very important one. Let's see how we will use this rule. Okay, now what we are having here, CH3 CH2, then we were having CH, here we are having CH3, now here we will have CH2 CH3. Okay, now we have identified the longest chain. This is the longest chain, so we will number the longest chain first. 1 2 3 4 5. Now the alkyl group present as side chain. Which is the alkyl group present as side chain? This is the side chain alkyl group. Okay, now this will be considered as substituent and named separately at prefix. Okay, now how we will name it in the prefix? We will write the number of the carbon atom to which this group is attached, which is 3. This group is attached to the third carbon, right, of the longest chain. So this is 3. Now what is the name of this group? The name of this group is methyl. Okay, name of this group is methyl. And then the word root name of the longest chain. What is the word root name of 5? Pent, right? So it will be pent. And then the suffix, which will be N, because it is alkane, so it will be N. So this is the name of this compound, 3-methyl pentane. We call this compound as 3-methyl pentane. Okay, now let's see the next rule. See here, the carbon atom of the longest chain are numbered in such a way that the alkyl group and functional group get the lowest possible number, with the highest priority functional group getting the lowest number. Okay, now what does this mean? I have to take a different compound for this to understand. Okay, so CH3 CH here we will have Cl, CH2, CH, and here we will have CH3 and again a CH3. Now let's try to name this compound. First we will identify the longest chain. We have 3 ends here, 1, 2 and 3, right? So if we choose this chain from this end to this end, how many carbons are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? And if we discuss from this chain to this chain, we will see 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So it does not matter if I choose this chain, or this chain, right? So let me choose this chain. Okay, so I will first number it from here: 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So I have 5 carbon in this chain. Okay, now see here we have methyl group at the second position and Cl group at the fourth position. Now if I number from this side, what will happen? 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. If I number from this side, Cl group will be at the second position and methyl at the fourth position. Now which one should I choose? Because if I choose on the upper numbering, then the name will be different than the lower numbering. So which one should I choose? This is the rule that we'll be using. It is written: chain are numbered in such a way that the alkyl group and functional group the lowest possible number, with the highest priority functional group getting the lowest number. So we have two functional groups, CH3 and Cl. Now which is the highest priority group? Chlorine is the highest priority group, so it should get the lowest number. Now in which numbering we get chlorine at the lowest number? At the second one, right? So we will use this one and not this one. Okay, so let me erase this one only. Now if I do the naming of this compound, then what will be the name? So first we will write 2-chloro. Now the substituent groups are written in an alphabetical way. Okay, I didn't write methyl because methyl starts with M and chloro 2-chloro. Okay, so chloro starts with C. Okay, so which is a alphabet first coming? Okay, C. So 2-chloro, right? 2-chloro 4-methyl. It is continuous. Okay, so there is no space, so I am writing down. Okay, 4-methyl and then the word root name 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So pent, everything in a continuous way. Okay, no spacing. Pentane, right? Pent is the word root and N is the suffix, right? So this is how we name a branch hydrocarbon when we are having more than one substituent. Okay, so let's move on to the next rule. Here see, I told you also, position of alkyl group and functional group is indicated by writing the number of carbon atom to which it is attached. You know this, right? Let's move on. Okay, the IUPAC name of the group is obtained by writing the position and name of the alkyl group and functional group just before name of the parent hydrocarbon. You know this, so there's no need for further explanation. Let's move on then. now we will be talking about isomers. See, you have only one type of isomer, and in higher classes there are lots of type of isomer. The isomer you are having is a very easy one. So let's see. Here I have written it also. Only structural isomer is there for class 10. No other isomer you have to read. Okay. There are lots of isomer like stereoisomer, functional isomer, lots of isomer. You don't need to know about them. Okay. Now let's see. The organic compound having the same formula but different structure are known as isomers. Okay, the isomers what? They are the organic compound. Two different organic compounds having different structures, but they have the same formula. Okay, now isomers are possible only for hydrocarbon having total carbon number 4 or more. So for meth, eth and prop there will be no isomers. Okay, ethane, methane and propane does not have any isomer because here we have number of carbon as 1, here 2 and here 3. So let's see an example. I will show you an example. Let's see the isomers of pentane. How is pentane written? CH3, we have pentane, right? So it will have first let's start from the basics. So it will have how many carbon? 5, and it is N, so all of them will be single bonds. Let's draw the chain first. Alright, here it is a 5 carbon chain. It is simple chain, right? Now let's fill up the valency of carbon with hydrogen. Here see, carbon will have 4 bonds, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Here carbon have already 2, so other 2 will be hydrogens. Okay. Similarly, this will have 2 hydrogens. Here we have 2 hydrogens, and at last we will have 3. Okay. Now this is a normal pentane. It is also an isomer of pentane. It has a molecular formula of C5H what? 2 into 5 10 plus 2 12. This is called N-pentane. It is a higher class term. You can remember it for your knowledge. Now, if I draw this compound CH3, CH, CH3, CH2, CH3. Now, what is the molecular formula? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It have 5 carbon, so C5. And how many hydrogen? 3 plus 2 5 plus 1 6 plus 3 9 plus 3 12. So H12. Now it also have C5H12, but the structure is different. So it is an isomer of pentane. We call it isopentane. Now see this one. Now what is the molecular formula of this one? How many carbon are there? 1 2 3 5 carbon, right? C5. Now hydrogen, how many hydrogens? 3 plus 3 6 plus 3 9 plus 3 12. it also have C5H12. It is also having the same molecular formula but different structure, so it is also an isomer. Now this is called neopentane. Okay, these terms are a extra term. You can learn it for knowledge. It's called neopentane. Now these are the three isomers of pentane. No more isomer can be formed. You can try at home. If you can find, you can comment. Okay, let's move on then. Now the next we have homologous series. A homologous series is a group of organic compounds having similar structure and chemical properties in which successive compounds different by CH2. It is very simple thing. For example, if I am given alkane, say let's say methane. Okay, now the next hydrocarbon of this homologous series will be what? Add CH2 to this one, C2H6. We are just adding CH2 to CH4. Okay, 2 hydrogen will be added here, 1 carbon added here, so C2H6. Next we will have 1 carbon added here, 2 hydrogen added here, so it will be C3H8. Similarly, in this way a series will be formed. Similarly for ethene, it is C2H4, right? If I add CH2, what will? 1 carbon added here, 2 hydrogen added here, C3H6. C3H6. Again 1 carbon added and 2 hydrogen added, C4H8. It will move on. And for ethyne, C2H2, then C3H4, right? Then C4H6 and so on. These are homologous series. Okay, just we have to add CH2 to the previous hydrocarbon to get a homologous series. Now what are the properties, characteristics of homologous series? Okay, all the members of the homologous series can be represented by the same general formula. Now if we see for ethane, methane, CH4, we are having CnH2n plus 2, right? C1 and H 2 into 1 plus 2, right? CH4. For C2H6, the next one, we are having also CnH2n plus 2, C2 and H 2 into 2 plus 2. So we can denote this, all the members of this homologous series as CnH2n plus 2. Similarly, you can represent all the members of the homologous series by a same general formula. You can find the general formula on your own. Okay, it will be different for different homologous series, but all the members of that homologous series will have the same general formula. Now any two adjacent homologous series differ by 1 carbon and 2 hydrogen atom in their molecular formula. It is simple, right? CH2 group, see, in CH2 group we have 1 carbon and 2 hydrogen, so every adjacent homologues will have 1 carbon atom and 2 hydrogen atom difference. Okay, the difference in molecular masses of any two adjacent homologues is 14 U. Now two adjacent homologues have CH2 group difference. Now what is the mass of this CH2? Carbon has a mass of 12 U and hydrogen has a mass of 1 u. There are 2 hydrogens, so 2u. So total of 14 u difference, right? This is what is okay. The next characteristic is all the compounds of homologous series show similar chemical properties. Now this is an important one, you have to remember this, okay. Then examples: the members of homologous series show a gradual change in physical property with increase in molecular mass. You have to remember these two properties. There are no way to understand this, okay. You have to just remember it. Now next we have functional groups, some important functional groups. What are the functional groups? I told it, okay. Functional group, the first one you have halo group. Halo group is coming for the name halogen. Halogen are the compounds we'll be reading in the periodic table, that group 17 of the periodic table has halogens, okay. It have fluorine, chlorine, bromine and iodine. These are the halogens. Now the halo group can be chloro, bromo or iodo, depending on whether chlorine, bromine or iodine is attached to a carbon atom of the organic compound. Fluorine is also there, but fluorine atom is very rare, so it is not written here, okay. Now the next we have alcohol group. Now alcohol group, in alcohol group we have OH group attached to the hydrogen main parent hydrocarbon. For example, CH3, CH2, OH. If I try to nomenclature this compound, it will be 1, we have here 2, here 1, because OH is very high priority, so it will be numbered 1, the lowest number, okay. So it will be 2 carbons, so the parent hydrocarbon will be eth. And then we have N. Now OH will be added in the suffix. You can see in the table that is showed in the priority order, it will be added in the suffix. So E will be removed from N and 1 all will be added, okay. The suffix we use for OH is all, which comes from alcohol, all group, okay. So it is ethane 1 all. We also call this ethyl alcohol. It is the common alcohol that everybody generally drink, okay. Not everybody, but some people drinks, okay. It is the only non-lethal alcohol, okay. All the other alcohols are lethal to our body. Only ethyl alcohol is the only alcohol that we can drink. The alcohol group is made up of 1 oxygen and 1 hydrogen joined together. This alcohol group is written like this: O and H, a simple one. Now next we have aldehyde group. Similarly, if we name this group, a very simple one, we will show it. Ethanol, it is called CH3 CHO. We start the numbering from the functional group only, because it also have a carbon 1, 2, so eth and 1 L, right. This is also called ethanol. Okay, ethanol, also called acetaldehyde. A common name is acetaldehyde. Okay, now let's see the next one. Sorry, the aldehyde is made of one carbon, one hydrogen joined by single bond and an oxygen joined to the carbon by double bond. See, this is the structure of aldehyde group. A double bond oxygen in the top and one hydrogen here. This is the aldehyde group. Okay, now the next group is ketone group. Aldehyde and ketone are two important groups of organic chemistry. Now in this, the ketone group is made of one carbon joined by two groups in either side with single bond and an oxygen atom attached to it by double bond. For example, CH3, CO, CH3. Now ketone cannot be at end because two groups are to be added on both sides of the carbon. Okay, now if I number 1, 2, 3, it is prop. Okay, prop N, then we have 2 and then one, propan-2-one, also called propanone. Okay, also called acetone, common name acetone. Okay, now the next we have, oh sorry, I been told, ketone is denoted like this. We have carbon here, so two different groups are to be attached on both sides of the carbon. It is generally found in the middle of the chain. Next group we have carboxylic acid. It is an acid group. Carboxylic acid is formed by carbon atom joined to OH by single bond and oxygen atom by double bond. Let's see CH3, COOH. Now how many carbon are there? 1, 2, so it will be eth, then N, and then 1, and then we use oic acid for carboxylic acid. Oic acid. So this is ethanoic acid or ethanoic acid or ethanoic acid, or also called acetic acid. Okay. Now how carboxylic acid is written? C, then we have O here, double bond O, and here we have OH. This is how carboxylic acid is written. Okay, so here we end the video. Thank you for seeing the video, and please subscribe our channel because we will also start 11 and 12 in a later time. Thank you for watching.